Hello everyone, welcome in Zylostar with the new market update with our team, Mr. Amedian and Mr. Samer.
The volatility index is showing low numbers despite the fact that we are seeing very impulsive moves in other asset classes. Gold, for example, once again has reached all-new time high, and now we have Dow Jones. However, these assets are not really performing the casual technical analysis as they're forming new patterns. Let's talk more about this.
So this week, at the beginning of the week, we received some vital economic indicators such as PMI for the European Union, and it showed more pressure on this region. And also from the United States, later we received GDP numbers. On the third revision, it showed a stable economic growth which published around 3%. And also later we received the PCE numbers at the end of the week, which was pretty normal. It increased the probability of soft landing. Let's see what will happen.
All right, so the next week analysis, starting with the DXY. Yes, it is true that we had an interest rate cut. Yes, it is true that the Japanese yen hiked the sky. However, the dollar index is still at a very strong support level. Now, from here, we still might expect it to consolidate within the range that we have highlighted by the previous week, 101.6 and or 0.8. and 100.5 support level. So right now it's at the support, and we still are looking for some consolidation before it may break the support to below side. Now, going to Bitcoin, after that interest rate cut, we see Bitcoin is doing pretty well. And here we can see that it has broken above the resistance of 65,000, continuing its up momentum in this ascending channel. Typical uptrend, and from here we might expect Bitcoin to retrace to the support of 65 once more after we see all these wicks forming with candles showing us some rejection for price to move up. Right, we might actually see it retracing to the trend line also to the level of 64,000 itself before it continues its up movement. Now, going to NASDAQ. Yeah, NASDAQ, we can see, as expected by previous week, it has retraced to the support. Now, Dow Jones has actually gotten the highest price of it historically so far. NASDAQ isn't really so far away from that, and that's due to the interest rate cut. We're still expecting that equities are going to be very bullish. With time, the more interest rate keeps cutting over and over, and the more equities shall go up. However, we have to keep in mind that the geopolitical situations might not cause this, let's say, prosperity to come. Anyways, so right now, technically, it's as a very solid and beautiful support, the level of 20,000. From here, we might expect it to continue its up movement and reaching the level of 20,700. Now, there is one possible scenario actually also, which is price breaking down to this trend line, possibly grabbing some liquidity from here, and also retesting the trend line. From here, it continues its up movement. So that's in very short how things, how US 100 looks technically, Bitcoin and DXY. Stay tuned for more by next week.
Hello again with Zylostar strategies. Let's take a look for the gold market and for the Euro USD market. We start, guys, with the gold market. As we can see, the gold is option continuation in the up channel. Like from here, he jumped also from 2,590 to 2,673, and it's a huge movement. As we already spoke before about this, and we said that the gold, he is in uptrend channel and we can expect him higher and higher, and from this price here we can expect the gold to come to this support to resistance level here to 2,590 again for some retracement. Then he will continue the up channel again and again. So this is our outlook for the gold market. Let's take a look for the Euro USD market, guys. Okay, Euro USD, it's here. As we can see, the EURUSD still consolidates between the primary trend line and secondary trend line. And he broke here the secondary trend line going to the primary trend line with the consolidating at a narrow zone between the primary and the second trend line at the price of 1.11632. From here, guys, we can expect him to come to this primary trend line again for some retracement. This is our outlook for today. See you guys next video.
Hello everyone, this is our Masoud Amidio, and once again we are here to review the most important and vital aspect of the financial market, which is fundamental. So as usual, I wanna kick it with the last week and let's review. So last week in the equities, we observed an upward range bound trend in the US stock market, particularly in the S&P 500. Economic indicators last week revealed lower than expected PMI numbers for the European countries like France and Germany, raising the likelihood of further rate cuts by the European Central Bank, which exerted some pressure on the European countries. Subsequently, speeches from the FOMC members highlighted that the recent 0.5% rate cut was appropriate for economic conditions and reaffirming a positive growth outlook. US GDP for second quarter was revised to a solid 3%, supported by an increase and disposable personal income is after cutting the taxes, which is remaining. We call it disposable personal income. The PCE indicator also exceeded expectations, bolstering soft landing scenarios in financial markets. Meanwhile, the appointment of Ishiba as a Japan new prime minister led to a significant volatility in the forex market, notably a sharp decline in USD JPY. On the earning front, companies like Micron and Costco reported better than expected for both EPS and revenue. Geopolitically, tensions remained high, with Donald Trump planning discussion with Ukraine's president, while conflicts in the Middle East continue without signs of ceasefire. Looking ahead to the next week, key economic indicators will include the Chinese Caixin manufacturing and services PMIs on September 13, alongside Germany's crucial CPI data, which is significant for the European Union. Additionally, Federal Reserve Chair Jerome J. Powell will deliver a speech at 9:55 p.m. to the Dubai time. The primary focus will be on the US labor market, with important data such as NFP, ADP, and JOLTS, or better to say job openings, set to be released. Notably, Powell recently indicated that the US economy is nearing its inflation target, suggesting that significant weaknesses in the labor market could lead to further rate cuts by the Fed this year. We will also see CPI reports for both of the CHF and Europe for the next week. Eventually, from the corporate earnings side, we are going to have earnings of such big companies like Nike, CCL, and other big companies like Louis in the next week. So do not forget, if you want to become successful in the financial markets, always mix technical with the fundamental. The result would be amazing.
Thank you guys for watching us. Thank you, Mr. Amidian, for this information, and thank you, Mr. Summer, for enlightening us. So see you soon, guys.